they're afraid, and they mentioned it themselves. They're afraid of someone cutting out. Bugatti's not afraid of that. I think if InMotion stops being afraid of what you can't avoid, because half the time cutouts happen because of rider error. It has nothing to do with the wheel itself. Half the time it's due to the rider not understanding the wheel or something like that, you know what I mean? So if InMotion could just forget about, oh, we want to make the safest wheel out there. Look, you can make the safest wheel out there, but you're going to compromise. There's a lot of compromise involved. And what I'm trying to say is, with that compromise, you cannot take into account stupid riders, dumb riders, riders who mess up just because they've been watching a ton of videos and they feel they could do something with the wheel that they didn't train for. Let me share something with you guys for a little bit. I just came out of work. I'm a little tired. I thought I was gonna pass out, go to bed. But I said the gym is closing at 3. Why don't we go to the gym? But don't drive, ride. And honestly, the thing about the wheels, dude, once you get on the wheel, there's no room to be tired anymore. I'm literally not tired now. I'm just ready to ride. So I'm back on the Master Pro. I'm back on the Master Pro after being on the EX30 for like pretty much the entire week. And I have to say, can't ignore the weight. It's there, but it's not crazy there. It's manageable. Woo! Man. It's maneuverable as before, no difference, but there is a little bit of delay naturally because of the weight. But wow, man, I'm glad they didn't release this with a knobby tire because I feel daring. In a good way. Rain is coming, so I better get to the gym fast. But let me show you guys a back view. This wheel is a good companion to the EX30. You should be able to pretty much accomplish the same range because of the obvious physics between the two. This is a big wheel. The EX30 is a much smaller wheel. See, look, look at this. No wide turn, beautiful, because the tire does not fight me. It agrees with me. You know what I mean? Yeah, Master Pro. Brake. Woo. Now let's take this thing to its natural habitat, shall we? Yeah. Woo. So it's big wheel, but look, I'm able to manhandle it a little bit. And you know what's good about this wheel? Check this out. Just sit like you're sitting on a chair, Very nice. I wouldn't say the EX30's sitting is bad or a bad experience. It's just a different experience. One feels like a Lamborghini. Like a Lamborghini, you sit in there, you're like all the way to the ground, almost on the ground, you know what I mean? This Master Pro, oh my gosh. I want to say more than a Cadillac, it's more like an X5. So an X5 is basically a crossover vehicle. Okay, it's not a car, it's not an SUV, it's an SAV, sport activity vehicle. And the thing about those cars is that they are what do you call, they're very versatile in the sense that you could race it on a track, but with that it comes with all kinds of insane technologies to create crazy dampening for the suspension. But with the EX30, you don't need that. It's like a Ferrari. You don't need those fancy technologies to help dampen your suspension, because suspension alone will do that job for you. But they both have great acceleration, great maneuverability. Woo! Let's go, baby. Safety margin too low. What is up with that, man? Up. $47 miles an hour, and this thing is screaming safety margin, man. 48. It keeps screaming safety margin. I'm nowhere near the top speed, and this thing is screaming safety margin. See, the EX30 is faster than this thing, because with the EX30, the beeps start around 49, 50 miles an hour. But this thing is going nuts. I mean, in my videos, did you hear the beeps? Maybe once or twice, maybe a third time, but not as much as this. So yeah, the EX30 is definitely a lot faster than this, by far, in my opinion. But again, what I like about this wheel is, look, boom. Yeah, so comfortable. But I can maneuver this thing, which is what I like. Woo! Oh. So like I said, the Master Pro is a companion wheel. For those of you who are curious about should you get a Master Pro or the EX30, it's a companion wheel. Now yesterday I came around here, right? This thing coming up, and I was afraid, but here now I'm not afraid. Why? Because, well, I'm afraid now because it's wet. Oh, busy day, wow. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Woo! So yeah, freaking great wheel, man. I love both wheels. The Goat has this firmware that nobody has, no one else has, and they can't copy it. It's my custom pads I was telling you guys about. I am back at the racetrack. Rain is coming. I gotta do this real quick. I want to show you guys something. This thing is really capable, right? Let's go. I'm not gonna go too fast, just demonstrating something. So what's amazing about this wheel is how you can throw it around on a track. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. Now, could I do that with the V13? Yeah, but look at this. Ah, come on. Woo, nice turn. I purposely did this to demonstrate how you could carve real hard with this beast of a wheel. It's so big, but there's so much it's capable of doing that, you know, a smaller wheel like the EX30 is capable of doing, but the tire sucks. You know what I mean? So it's just very predictable for such a massive wheel. It has the riding dynamics you need from a racing wheel. And that's the distinguishing factor between this wheel and the V13. The V13 has that capability of racing, but it's a lot of work. This, I'm not sure, again, is that firmware that Goat has, man. That firmware that Goat has for their wheels is unlike any other company out there. So, the Master Pro is a great wheel. I just recommend you get some type of protection for this. You know how, I forgot what EUC World sells, EUCU sells a type of protective fairing, and I believe they sell it for the Master. If not them, someone else, but I highly recommend it for this wheel, because if you take a spill, this thing's gonna crack. And I'm not just talking about the battery, I'm talking about the frame itself. Bigode is able to scale their performance. You know what I mean? InMotion has that capability, but they're afraid, and they mentioned it themselves. They're afraid of someone cutting out. Bigode is not afraid of that. I think if InMotion stops being afraid of what you can't avoid, because half the time cutouts happen because of rider error. It has nothing to do with the wheel itself. Half the time it's due to the rider not understanding the wheel or something like that, you know what I mean? So if InMotion could just forget about, oh, we want to make the safest wheel out there. Look, you can make the safest wheel out there, but you're going to compromise. There's a lot of compromise involved. And what I'm trying to say is, with that compromise, you cannot take into account stupid riders, dumb riders, riders who mess up just because they've been watching a ton of videos and they feel they could do something with the wheel that they didn't train for. And half the time, look, I've crashed many times. I've done stupid things, so I can speak for stupid people. You know what I'm saying? I used to be stupid. I could get away by saying that it was in the name of testing. But there were times where I rode and I would not pay attention to my surrounding, and I would cut out or fall down because of a pedal clip. Or I remember once I was doing crazy speeds at 35% battery. I'm like, come on, who does that stuff? So I was doing that, you know what I mean? Not acceptable at all. But I did do it, and then I faced the consequences. Did I blame anyone? Nope. Right behind you, miss. I'm not a fish. Thank you. That's one thing I can say, is that Bigode is just number one, guys. I'm sorry. Bigode is number one. The other companies, they just have to, I wouldn't say they have to accept it, because if they accept it, then that means they're not going to keep trying. But Bigode is that figurative cheese in front of their faces that they're trying to all attain and will never be able to attain. So here's the thing. If you're a new rider or new to this sport, when I say new, I mean within the last 2-3 years, here's what you have to understand. Bigode has always been this careless. Always. And I say careless because that's how you perceive it. But Bigode has always been careless. This is not something new to them. Bigode is the first company and only company to literally allow the rider to crash by not making tiltbacks mandatory. But beeps were mandatory. Beeps have always been mandatory. So if you crash on a Bigode, half the time, and this is the truth, a lot of people on Facebook will not admit this, but next time you see someone talking about a Bigode crashing or burning or cutting out, half the time, I'm not saying there aren't times where it's the technology's fault, but a lot of the times it has to do with the rider. How he stored his wheel, how he, you know, abused the wheel, etc., etc. So I could feel the rain coming. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 3 miles from home. I better head out. Yeah, guys. Woo! Bigode is king. Like it or hate it, it's the reality. I'm sorry. Bigode is king, baby. Or as we veterans would love to keep calling them, Gotway. Gotway is king. Yes, Gotway is king. So, now, one last thing before I leave. I'm gonna make this really short. You guys were saying, why am I saying that the EX30 is portable? Guys, when I say portable, in the beginning of the video, I said something close to normalcy. I didn't say it was normal. I said it was close to normalcy, okay? In other words, if you look at the OG Sherman and the EXN, these were wheels that paved the way for more high performance wheels, okay? Besides Bigode, because there were no wheels out there that could match the performance of Begode. So Sherman, which is Librakim, sorry, which is a company from Begode, was the only company to come out and literally build something that was close to what Begode put out. The only problem is the torque was always an issue. But the packaging, it was a small, short, heavy, 77 or so pounds. By today's standard, that's a light wheel. So that's what I meant. An extra 30, 27 pounds from the EX30. Come on, dude. With suspension, with 36. Remember, the first OG Sherman was 3,200, dude. 3,200. 3,200 watt hours. And now you have the EX30 with a similar, form factor with 36 plus an amazing suspension. So what other company can you get that from? No other company. No other company. I hate when people show themselves all the time, so I gotta show the wheel as well. I don't want to be a hypocrite. But that's what I'm saying, So it is portable by these standards I just mentioned. Okay, that's what I meant. I'm guessing a lot of guys who are asking, how can I consider the EX30 portable, is because a lot of you are new riders. A lot of you are probably new riders. And so you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about, man? The 9-bot is portable. The Tesla is portable. The MSP is portable. Correct, you're all correct. But if I said plus performance, portability plus performance, okay? And the EX30 far outshines any other wheel out there. Maybe the Commander Pro, but the Commander Pro is not a portable wheel. Okay, no one's saying or even suggesting that the Commander Pro is a portable wheel. So there you have it. That's what I meant. Let's go riding, guys. I hope that answers your question. For such a big wheel, man, the maneuverability is just on another level, dude. Gotta appreciate Begode, man. You gotta appreciate Begode. I'm sorry. You have to appreciate Begode. Come on, guys, show your appreciation. I talk too much. The rain beat me to it. All right, guys, have a good day.